One of Facebook's early investors and a former mentor to CEO Mark Zuckerberg warns of the social media giant's harmful and potentially irreversible effects on society. Roger McNamee makes the case in a new Washington Monthly essay called How to Fix Facebook Before It Fixes Us. He argues Facebook has prioritized advertisers and not protected users. McNamee writes, "We are drowning in evidence that there are costs that society may not be able to afford."
In a New Year's pledge, Zuckerberg admits Facebook has a lot of work to do this year. He vows to take action against offensive content and false news articles that could reach the site's more than 2 billion monthly active users. The author of the essay now joins us. Roger McNamee is managing director of the private equity firm Elevation Partners. He still holds a stake in Facebook. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You describe yourself as a mentor to Zuckerberg, but then why are you worried now?
Well, so it's one of these really sad things. I feel like Jimmy Stewart character in an Alfred Hitchcock movie. I spent years helping to build this company. When I first met Mark, they were having an existential crisis. I was asked by one of his colleagues to go in and meet with the boss. He couldn't tell me why. It was a big secret. I said, but I sit down with him. I'm closer to him than I am to you. And I say, Mark, if it hasn't already happened, remember, the company's 2 years old, he's 22. I say, Mark, if it hasn't already happened, Facebook or Microsoft or Yahoo is going to try to buy you. They're going to offer $1 billion. Everybody's going to tell you to take it. I'm telling you, you have one of the greatest opportunities I've ever seen. Don't take the money. Build the company. That began a 4-year period where I talked to him almost certainly every week, sometimes every day. I then, he outgrew me. And so company goes on, it becomes massively successful. I'm a huge fan. I'm sitting in the front row and I'm thinking, wow, this is the greatest thing I ever did. Then right at the beginning of the presidential election campaign in 2016, I see things going wrong. And it makes me very concerned. And eventually in October, I go to them and I say, I think we have a structural problem here. And they treat it like a PR crisis rather than like a business problem.
What was the structure? What did you see?
Well, initially I saw people manipulating, essentially bad actors manipulating Facebook to harm people who are powerless. And
you saw political ads popping up on your own Facebook feed.
I saw political ads, but I also saw people scraping Facebook and then about Black Lives Matter and selling it to police departments. I saw financial institutions using Facebook tools to discriminate in housing. It was a wide range of things. Basically, Facebook created tools for engagement. And in order to get people engaged, they used things that effectively addicted them. And so people lost the power to really discern what they were reading. And it became very hard to get, they call it filter bubbles, that people get trapped in this place where they think everyone agrees with them because Facebook only shows you stuff they think you want.
So is it painful for you to speak out this way against a company that you were an early investor and still own stake in?
Oh, it's unbelievably painful. In fact, what I really want to do is be able to sit down with Mark and Cheryl and go, guys, this is a situation where you need to be like Johnson & Johnson when the tampering took place on Tylenol. You need to sit there and recognize that you didn't cause this to happen, but it's your responsibility because it's your product.
They don't
wouldn't
seem to
that
want to
change
talk to you, though, do they? They don't seem to want to talk to you.
No, they don't, and it's too bad because, I want to help and others want to help. I think that the issue with my partner Tristan Harris and Renee DeResta and the rest of our team, we're sitting there saying, listen, this is a crisis. The government of Myanmar is using this product to make the genocide of Rohingya acceptable in Myanmar. There are these horrible things going on. And I'm sitting there going, guys, you need to fix the product. You need to change the way the algorithms work. You need to change the business model. But there's a good outcome here. We can make this better than it is today.
You want to talk to them. They talked to us. A Facebook spokesman told us in response to your article, quote, "We've made major progress in combating false news, fighting harassment, bringing more transparency to advertising, and stopping bad actors from meddling in foreign elections. We know we have more to do, and we will put our heads down and do the work." You've been talking about outside actors. What about inside Facebook? What they use to make money, to capture people? How much of that is part of what you're describing?
It is exactly the problem. That essentially the very tools, the Russians didn't hack the system. They didn't do something special. They did exactly what advertisers are supposed to do. And the really important thing to understand is advertising is a small part of the problem. It's Facebook groups. It's this notion that in Facebook, what they really want to do is appeal to fear and anger, because those are the things that motivate you, that engage you, that get you really focused on the
So,
content.
Roger, how to solve the problem as you see it?
So I think the most important thing we have to focus on today is children. And my dear friend Jim Steyer at Common Sense Media, he gives me the rules of thumb for parents, right? The most important thing is you have to be a good role model. If you're using your phone 24 hours a day, if you're using it, you know, your children are going to pick up on that. You have to be their best teacher. You have to set clear limits, right? What is the appropriate usage of these products? And then they have a thing called device-free dinner, where they're trying to say to people, listen, have this meal where the whole family's together and you actually talk to each other. And I'd say if you're an adult, all those rules apply as well. Set limits. Don't turn off your notifications, right? Don't let this thing control your life.
Really interesting. I could talk to you for a long time.
Well, I'm welcome to come back every
And I'm
day,
gonna
because this issue is not going to be solved quickly, and we're going to have to work together. And thank you so much for giving us a chance, because I really think
you should still try to talk to Cheryl and Mark.
I would love to.
You stop talking, but you keep reaching out to them. All right, what you have to say is important. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Roger McNamee, we're glad you came today.